Oh yes. Oh, see, are you feeling cavemanish? Oh, oh. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, man. Feeling it. What? Oh, oh. Mm. What's going on, brother?
What's going on?
What's
Nothing
going
much,
on?
man.
Thanks for.
Just happy to join you on this exciting stream.
Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate it. I know you're a busy man. I appreciate you hanging out with the Samurai to talk about Primal Season 1, Episodes 1 through 5. This will be a spoiler discussion. Let's see the Movie Dojo Army. Who is here? We got Glenn in the house, the Pakugan Brawler. He says he loves Primal. He is a fan of Primal. That's awesome. All right. Dallas Cowboys fan says, loving the merch, Samurai. Need to buy one. Well, I really appreciate that, Dallas Cowboy fan. Check it out. Don't forget, chat, merch, Samurai merch is available, mugs and shirts and all that fun stuff. And make sure when you guys buy it, make sure you send me a photo. Send me a photo on my Instagram of you with the merch, because I want to feature it in a future video for the channel. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Brad Movies in the house. Michael Gonzalez. Matthew, what's going on? Oh, shit, we got a new subscriber. All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for subscribing. You rock.
Nice.
And I love food. 154.
We have something in common.
Jake Hall in the house says, what's up? Phat Samurai Guy and the sexy Sumo in the house. All right. Got 14 badasses so far showing up with us, hanging out. That's right. Being badasses, hanging out with two knuckleheads. That's right. On a Sunday evening, I guess, at this point.
Close to it, yeah.
Kind of, yeah, almost.
In between.
But a while back, I think some of you guys from the Movie Dojo Army from chat have been messaging me several times about that Samurai Guy. You got to check out Primal. You got to check out Primal. You got to check out Primal. And I was just like, all right, cool. And when I get some free time, I'm going to go ahead and check it out. And I at least put it in my queue for HBO Max. I don't have Cartoon Network, but at least I was like, at least put it in there. And then I had some free time the other day, and unfortunately, there's a little bit of an annoyance with this because for some reason they only have 5 episodes on HBO Max. They don't have the full season. And I'm kind of like, no. And I thought it was only 5. I didn't know that. And then when I went up to look up information on the show on IMDb, I didn't read the plot synopsis or descriptions of the episode 6 and up. I stayed away from spoilers in case we do a future video. But I was just like, God damn it, I want to see the rest of the show.
Shame on you, HBO.
Yeah, it's like, why even call it season 1 on HBO Max when it's just half the season, which is annoying. So hopefully, we'll get the rest of the episodes on HBO Max, and then me and Sumo can get together again and finish talking about the next season. However, despite that little tiny annoyance, this was a fucking badass show, man.
It was the shit. I enjoyed it.
Was fucking badass. What's going on, Norzoth? What's cracking? We're here hanging out tonight, talking about Primal. That's right. That's right. Because you can't say, I'm just hanging out, chilling. I'm just watching Primal. Sexy Sumo, you watching Primal? It's not the same.
Watching it. Yeah.
Right? Episodes 1 through 5. No. Be like, Primal now. That's how you got to do it.
Give us what we crave.
Yes. Blood, gore, head smash spear. Dinosaurs. Yeah. All the good shit. Oh, shit. Fluffy Gamer in the house. Fluffy Gamer. That's right.
Careful. He might catch us slipping.
That's right. We're just going to pronounce everybody's names like cavemen.
Michael Gonzalez.
Michael Gonzalez. Yeah. So Primal Season 1, we're going to talk about episodes 1 through 5. It will contain some spoilers, but it's okay. If you guys still go watch it. Still go watch it. We highly recommend you check it out. What is the last time, Sumo, have you watched an animated movie or series that didn't have any dialogue, but the visual storytelling was so good that you were like, this is fucking dope?
So I've never seen Samurai Jack, shame on me, which I hear it's really good.
That's all right.
And I know that has dialogue.
No. Samurai Jack is great.
I know, but it has dialogue too, right?
Yeah, it
That
does.
doesn't
It
count.
does.
So I would say the last thing I saw that had no dialogue and it was pretty badass was Aeon Flux.
Oh yeah, yeah. The shorts,
Yeah.
the mini shorts that came out first, right?
Yeah, not the Charlize Theron movie. That movie is bullshit. But the
that
animated shorts on MTV.
That movie didn't happen.
No.
But yeah, that's a good example. That's a good example. Yeah, maybe the first 10 minutes of Up.
Yeah, that too.
Maybe that was very well done. That made everybody cry.
Yeah, but it wasn't brutal though.
No, not brutal. I'm just using it as an example. Maybe Up was a bad example, but I was just visual storytelling is the point I'm trying to make. Very, it's very rare, And there were Samurai Jack episodes that did have little to no dialogue. There were a few of it. But speaking of, you bringing up Samurai Jack, the creator of Primal is by Gendy Tartakovsky, and I apologize if I said his name wrong. And he also directed episodes of old school. We're going back in the day. We got Dexter's Laboratory, but he directed many episodes of Samurai Jack because that was the animation style of this show. Kind of reminded me of Samurai Jack just a little bit, right?
And that's what it reminded me as well. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And so this guy, Tarkovsky, did a whole bunch of episodes of Samurai Jack, as well as your favorite and my favorite, which I blew it. I should have bought it when it came out, and now you can't find it. And you lucky bastard, you have it. The two animated, what was it again? The Star Wars Clone Wars animated.
The Clone Wars animated series, yeah.
Yeah, not the CGI animated series.
No, the actual animated one.
Yeah, chat. If you have not seen, though, it was two of them, right?
Yeah, it was volume 1 and 2.
Yeah, if you have not seen, it's hard to find, and I regret not buying it on DVD because it's very hard to find now. But
here.
That's fine. The two animated volumes of the animated series of the Clone Wars, Star Wars, is so fucking badass. The fight scenes, you have fucking Anakin Skywalker fighting Ventress in a lightsaber fight at night in the rain. It's fucking dope. You have fucking was it Mace Windu or Yoda that used the Force and took down a fucking Star Destroyer, or he took down something.
That was Yoda.
That was Yoda. Okay.
Ship. Yeah, he put it down.
Yeah, like way before the CG animated show came out. This came out first, and it was fucking great.
Well,
even if you hate the prequels, those animated volumes were fucking dope. So it makes sense. This guy's done Samurai Jack. He's done those Star Wars Clone Wars animated episodes, not the CGI ones, and it makes sense because it all fits with this show because this show is fucking badass. Yes. So let's go ahead and hold on a second. So they don't. There's no dialogue, so you don't know the character's name. But in IMDb, they call him Spear.
Oh, okay. See, I was calling him Caveman and Rex.
Caveman and Rex.
That's what I was calling him.
The basic plot synopsis is a caveman and a dinosaur bond over shared tragedy and work together to survive in a perilous prehistoric world. Now, the funny thing is, if you just read the first couple of words, this sounds like a Disney movie. A caveman and a dinosaur bond, right? That sounds like Disney, but the rest, they bond over shared tragedy, motherfuckers.
Oh,
that's right, and work together to survive in a This show is fucking brutal, and we fucking love it. This is fucking violent, brutal. It's honest. It's like this is how it is in this world.
I wish every animated series were like that.
Right?
So good.
Yeah. Here we go. Back to the best General Grievous on Star Wars. Yeah.
Yes.
From the animated show. Yes.
Thinking about that, it was on the CGI one. Did they ever show how Grievous got his cough?
I don't think so, man. I think that
on the animated
only in the animated cartoon. Yeah.
When they crush his chest.
Yeah. I mean, that was so fucking cool, man. I really regret not buying that DVD, but I wish they would release it at least on Blu-ray or something. But well, it is what it is.
I'll just have Disney Plus and have it on there.
Well, the next time I come over your house, I'll just steal yours.
So, yes,
I'll just do that. Nate Dogg in the phone. Oh, wait, hold on. Nate Dogg's 212.
Nate Dogs 212.
Yes.
Oh.
Dizzy Freck. Oh man, we're having too much fun being cavemen. Well, anyway, we got to represent because Primal is fucking brutal, badass. It has like beautiful animation. The animation is really good, and right off the bat, let's go ahead and get into the first episode, Sumo. Let's talk about what happens in the first episode. Like the first 10 minutes, you got the tone of the show right off the bat.
Yeah, the first episode was Spear and Fang.
Yeah.
That's the title of it, right? So
Yeah.
what
So
do you
what's
what do
that?
you got?
What was that one about again? We're
You got
gonna
the
go through each
caveman.
episode, chat, so that way you guys we're talking about it.
Yeah, I took 4 freaking pages of notes for this thing, so
Yeah.
we're gonna go through them.
You took more pages of notes with Primal than you did with Top Gun.
No shit, right? I wrote like 2 sentences for Top Gun, and I'm writing 4 pages of this.
The first sentence was it sucked.
Like my first sentence was, "Shoot me now, please."
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Let's see. It starts off with
But it's all good because me and you, at least Top Gun did win the verses, which is fine. But at least you and me represented Iron Eagle. Why? Because America.
Whoa.
Sorry, I just had to do that one more time.
Don't forget, Tony also represented, man. Tony was on our side.
I know. I was stunned.
Hit him with America as well.
Yeah. All right. First episode. What we got going here?
First episode, you got the caveman fishing, which was pretty cool because he would like you shoot a spear, poke it through its head, and then run it down to his bunch of fishes that he has. When all of a sudden he hears a loud scream, so he immediately starts running back to where the scream was at. So when he gets there, it's kind of foggy, it's kind of hazy, and all you see is the shadows of his wife and his kids running back and forth, being chased down by the I don't know the exact name of the dinosaur, but it looked like a giant. It was a giant T-Rex.
Yeah.
With a huge horn on its snout, right?
Yeah.
But to top it off, that wasn't even like the big ones. That was like the kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was those small ones. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was like the kids of the massive one, which wasn't even there because this one was just going after the kid. Next thing you know, you see one kid getting eaten, the wife getting eaten, and then the other kid, and then the other kid. I'm like, wow, literally being chewed, right?
Yeah.
So of course the caveman is in shock, but then he goes into rage mode, right? And when he goes into rage mode, it's pretty intense. Which, by the way, your intro with the footage of the caveman running and the music went super good with it. It was really well done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then he goes after him.
Speaking of the music, the soundtrack is dope.
Oh yes,
the soundtrack to this show is really good, man. But yeah, go ahead.
Everything fit in pretty well. Let me see. They get eaten, and then he goes into rage, and then of course he goes over there and he starts fighting with these dinosaurs. You know, with just him and his little old spear, right? And he's just attacking and just tearing them up.
Yeah.
Right. And he puts up a good fight, and that's when what was it? I would say the mom or the dad dinosaur showed up.
Yeah. The big one.
Right. Yeah, the big one, and then called him away. Right. So now he's just sad.
Yeah.
Right. So during that time, he's sad. He's depressed. He climbs the tallest mountain, and he's thinking about taking himself out.
Yeah.
Because he's so depressed.
This is all in the first episode.
Yeah, just in the first episode alone, right? And he's up there standing there just contemplating whether he wants to just end his life. And then all of a sudden he sees the sunset, or the sunrise, right? Or was it the sunset?
I
can't remember. It was going up and down.
They're in the sky.
Yeah, so he sees his wife and kids, and it kind of takes like as a message, like, no, it's not your time to come along just yet.
Right.
So he just slopes down, he cries, and then he calls it a day, right? Doesn't kill himself.
Yeah.
Right. So then the next day, he's just kind of walking around when all of a sudden he sees the T-Rex, another T-Rex. That's a striped T-Rex, right? Which I called it Rex because it was just Rex. Yeah. And then he goes into rage mode, ready to take this dinosaur because he's so furious. He started charging it, and all of a sudden, as he gets closer, he sees that it's just a mother trying to feed its little T-Rexes.
Right.
So he automatically thinks about his own family, and he's sitting there like, oh man. He goes, I mean, he didn't say anything. He's just like sitting there thinking, oh, well, maybe this is not the right thing to do,
Yeah.
right? Well, lo and behold, guess who shows up? The same horned dinosaurs out of nowhere
Yeah.
starts attacking her and her kids. And
Yeah.
he's kind of sitting there watching, like, what's going on? Why is this happening? All of a sudden, boom, both kids are eaten, right?
Well, first, don't forget he actually makes the decision to help.
Right.
So
He goes,
he actually fights. He actually helps the little
oh,
dinosaur
that's
family.
right. That's right. He goes in there and
Right,
starts
and
fighting them.
he fights the little red the red dinosaurs. They get killed and get chased away, and then the little two baby dinosaurs that he was protecting, they actually come over to him and they kind of bond with him a little bit,
Oh, yeah. They appreciate
right?
the fact that he helped them
And
out.
then because this show is fucking brutal, right after he bonds with the little baby dinosaurs, here comes that big, huge, gigantic red one. Here comes Daddy, and just dead. And like I was just like, holy! And this is all in the first episode. This is still the first episode. But yeah, go ahead.
So then he eats the kids, and then they go. The mama gets all mad, and he gets all mad, and they start fighting the big one. And before you know it, they join forces, right?
Yeah,
And then they both just started doing all these weird tag teams on this dinosaur
yeah, it's
with
fucking
stabbing
dope.
him in the eye and stabbing him in the face, and then
Yeah,
she's biting him because looking at the scale of the giant one and her, she was so much smaller, right?
oh yeah, yeah,
And so whenever she takes a bite, it's like little bites, you
right,
know. And
right,
so after I don't know how long the fight was. It was pretty extensive. Finally, the caveman throws his spear at
right,
full capacity and goes right to the chest,
right. Oh,
right?
it's through the
And
mouth, the neck, or something like that.
no, it actually went through the heart. It just went
Okay,
through the
okay,
chest and
right,
came out the back, right? And then
right.
let me see. Yeah, so then that's pretty much it. They killed the giant one.
Right.
Um, and then that's after that they just joined forces, and that was pretty much it.
It's
And
like
then you see,
at first, because he's lost his family. The little dinosaur has lost, you know, her family.
right,
So he's like walking alone on the sand or whatever on the beach, and then she's like walking up behind him, like just
yeah,
like, well, I guess we're together. But then there was conflict. They weren't like best buds right away. Like there was conflict, because he was
oh,
trying to hunt and feed himself, but the dinosaur kept eating his food.
we're
And
talking
then
about
they,
episode two now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll segue into it.
Okay.
That's fine. But yeah, go ahead, take it from there.
Yeah, well, I like the ending of the first episode though. At the very last shot,
Yeah,
how they do like that weird, kind of like the one you have in the background, and it's almost like a Street Fighter pose, right? And they're just like,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was pretty cool. So then the next episode was River of Snakes, which was another exciting episode, man. It was really good.
yes,
Uh, you started off by saying they were hunting for food,
yeah,
and then being that they're both, carnivores and they're primitive. I mean, their only act is to like feed for themselves, right? Just fend for themselves. So he's hunting a boar, and just as he's about to capture it, here comes Rex and boom, swoops it and eats it, right? So he gets all mad,
yeah,
and that not only happens, it happens twice?
yeah. Like three times, I think, more than that. I think.
Yeah, because it happened with two separate pigs, and then it happened with the deer later on,
Okay.
right? It
Okay.
was the crazy deer they were stealing, right? So he kept stealing them, and then they show them taking dumps together. Remember he ate that slug,
Yeah.
and like the dinosaur wanted to eat the slug from his hand. He's all sniffing it. He's like, no. He's like, get
Yeah.
away. And so
Yeah.
then his stomach starts rumbling. So he goes to take
Yeah.
a shit. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, here comes the big dinosaur right next to him, drops a ginormous pile of shit right on the floor. Oh man, that was so
So
good.
they called the dinosaur Fang.
Fang.
So Spear and Fang.
Okay, so that's the title of the first
That makes it
episode.
easier.
Yeah. So we'll say Spear and Fang. Um. Yeah. So pretty much during this whole time, they sit in the cave, together hanging out while Fang sleeps near the fire, keeping warm, and he sees the shadow, starts making shadow puppets, remembering how he entertained his kids.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Good timing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
But I did like this about the show because this happened several times where you could still see that he's still grieving You know, he's still sad. He's still grieving, and there's like several flashbacks throughout the show, which we'll get to. But yeah, but very, very again, great visual storytelling. No dialogue needed. It's very good.
Yeah, it was really good. What else? After that portion, that's when they start hunting over for the deer, right?
Right.
And as he's chasing after the deer, once again Rex steps in and he gets the deer from him and he bites up the portion, but
Yeah.
he dumps like a bottom half of it, right? And he's like, "What?" He's like looking at it like, "Oh," and he's still bummed out, right? So then they start kind of mad at each other, right? Because Spear just
Yeah.
kept pushing at him. He was so mad, and then they start like kind of almost like start fighting
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the meat, right? And
Yeah.
that's when they're in the woods, deep in the woods, and all of a sudden there's like ginormous, there you go, a big old pile of just snakes everywhere,
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
and then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, like okay, so then they start running from them.
Yeah.
And what's funny is Fang was the first one to run.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were staring at it so hard, and all of a sudden you see just Fang take off, and he's like staring like what? And he looks back. Oh man,
That was pretty funny.
runs. He takes off and he starts running, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like I don't know if it was like a dam or the water just broke, and all of a sudden, like it was like a ginormous flood that came out of
Yeah, it's a
nowhere.
big flood. Hold on one
Right?
second. What's up, Michael? Thanks for the dono, man. Thank you. He says just wanted to get our last February donation in, and ask Samurai any plans down the line to do your thoughts on Best of the Best with Eric Roberts. I actually tried to do Best of the Best a movie review with Len Kapuscinski. I contacted him because that's one of his favorite martial arts movies of all time. But he's so busy because he's director and all that, so he's like so busy. So I couldn't get him. So I did try. I probably will revisit it in the future though, because it's a movie definitely worth reviewing on the channel. But thanks again, Michael. And I see you guys' questioned about Castlevania. Me and Jax briefly spoke about doing Castlevania because I haven't finished season 3, so that's also a possibility. We'll talk over that. Maybe bring in Sumo and review the series. Yeah, but I only got the seasons 1 and 2, which were really good. So, but yeah.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just 2 seasons then?
It's 3. I only got to I never finished it. But the season 1s and 2 are like really good. So what's going on, Gilbert?
Gilbert Burger.
All right, back to it. 20 badasses watching. All right, you guys rock.
Nice.
The snakes. Running from the snakes, the flood.
I lost my train of thought there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when the flood happens, and next thing you know, they're trying to avoid the snakes as much as possible underwater, which is a great scene, man. Because the way they shot it, it's like you got them floating in the water, and these snakes just kind of look like they're flying by, right?
Yeah.
And then they're trying to get attack Spear and Fang, and they're trying to avoid them and just keep dodging them. And then they would come up for air, and that's when Spear came up, and he sees the giant waterfall approaching.
Yeah. And then there was that one huge snake too. That Fang had. Yeah.
Oh, dude, when he started biting him in half, that was such a great scene.
That was great.
Because all you see is the head, the blood, and then you see the head just floating by. That was awesome.
Blood.
Yeah.
Head float.
Snake head.
What's up, Michael? Thanks for the donation, man. He says, random question. What's your opinion on King Kong 76? Oh, from Montreal. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Shout out to Montreal. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Me and Lady Fabula talked about it a long time ago. It's weird because Jessica Lange back in that time got really a lot of flack for being like a horrible actress. But if you watch the movie, her character is kind of ditzy. Her character is kind of clueless. Like I'm here to pose for photos in magazines. Like she's playing that type of character, so it makes sense why she's acting that way. But no, 76 very well done. Great practical effects. And
I watched it a lot as a kid.
Sumo just hit me up last week, letting me know about the Shout Factory release.
Yes.
So King Kong 76, you guys, coming out in Blu-ray very soon from Shout Factory. So that's a must purchase. All right.
I think it's April or May. I think it's May.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, there was never an official Blu-ray release of it over here in America. We had to buy a bootleg.
That's right.
Yeah. So this is cool.
Now I'm just waiting for them to release King Kong Lives.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest, but I still like it. It's
You've
really
seen
good.
it.
Oh, I used to watch it all the time as a kid on VHS.
I haven't seen it. Maybe we'll do a video on it in the future. But yeah.
Oh, it's a for me it was great. I don't know about everybody else, but
All right.
I know a lot of people hated it.
Well, you grew up with it. It's different.
Yeah, just like Garbage Pail Kids. I'm probably the only fool that loves that movie.
And Mac and Me.
Yeah, and Mac and Me.
Speaking of Mac and Me, did you know about the alternate ending?
There was an alternate ending?
Dude, I need to find it. It might be on your Blu-ray that you have.
I don't own it yet.
Oh, I thought you had it.
No, I never bought it.
Dude, I was like, is this real? But dude, the original ending is the kid in the wheelchair going towards the remember they're at the gas station. Remember the family at the end, the cops show up and the family's like across from the cops.
Yeah.
And the dad still has the pistol. So the kid is trying to get these. He's like, fuck you guys. I want to go with the aliens. So he's like going towards the aliens, and the cops panic and they end up shooting the kid, bro. I'm not making it. The kid gets squibs, bro. Squibs. But guess what else happens after that? After the dad, alien with the gun, sees what they did to the kid and straight up goes gangster style on the cops, and there's a huge explosion. Dude, I'm not making this up. You got to see this.
I got to see this now.
It's hilarious, dude. I was like, oh my god.
That Mac and Me was released by Shout Factory?
Maybe. But bro, I was like, oh, I thought you knew about it, dude. I was like, oh my god.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to look that up then.
You got to see it. But yeah, okay, back to Primal.
Let's see. They're in the water. They're fighting, dodging, and then they see the huge waterfall. In which once again they join forces. They take the big giant snake body, right, and kind of make it like a makeshift rope. And then they hang it off. Yeah, they hang it off a cliff, right? So, and then like Fang is hanging low because he's heavier, and Spears hits that boulder, right, because he's holding on to it.
Yeah.
And of course, a wet snake is always a slippery snake, so it starts to slip out of his arms. And next thing you know, they both just fall straight down to the water.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, it's funny. What's funny is that Fang fell straight down, but Spear hit every rock coming down. He got so messed up, man. You see the bones cracking and the blood coming out of his face.
We got another dono. Another dono from Michael. Thanks again for the donation, brother. He says he got the Blu-ray of Kong 76 from France. I wonder if that's the one we have. And the DVD of King Kong Lives from the UK. And by the way, there's a 3-hour-long TV cut of Kong 76. Oh, I didn't know that.
So I believe that Shout Factory is gonna have the TV cut.
No,
I think so. I think I read it on the back of it.
What? There you go, guys.
So
straight from the source.
Yeah. Well, not the greatest source. I said think. Don't quote me on it. All right, because then you're gonna come and yell at me, "Hey, man, Sumo Theater was gonna be on there."
Lied to us, man. Hey,
what
Sumo,
a jerk.
You're not alone, Sumo. You're not alone.
Yes,
there. Look at that.
Take call.
Look at that. All right.
USA, okay.
Take call.
Oh man.
All right.
I'm jealous that is it Michael Bordage?
Yeah.
That has King Kong Lives, man. That's awesome. Now I gotta find that one. Oh, by the way, Spinal Tap is impossible to find on Blu-ray now.
Why?
Yeah, I looked it up on Amazon. It's pretty pricey.
How much is it?
I saw a couple selling it for like $30 here and there.
Oh.
It's I'm pretty sure it'll go down in price eventually.
Yeah. That's one of those movies, though, that if you buy it on DVD, it'll look the same, probably.
Yeah.
Because it's so grainy.
It is pretty grainy, but maybe if we ever go to Book Off, we'll find it there.
Oh, you probably find it there. That's awesome. You want to buy it, though. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a funny movie. I enjoyed it, man.
Yay. Oh, you got a fan here?
What is that?
Femme Physique fan says, Sexy Sumo!
Femme Physique fan!
There you go. Welcome to Primal Season 1 review. Or at least episodes 1 through 5. All right, where we at now?
So pretty much it. That was it, right? So he hit the rocks coming down.
Yeah,
He's drowning because he's knocked out. Fang finds him, pulls him out of the water, saves
yeah,
him.
right.
Um, and then after that, they kind of snap. He snaps out of it, and next thing you know, back again. They join forces, and
Yeah,
they go back to being badasses. And that was
yeah.
pretty much the end of episode 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
So electric boogaloo. Oh man.
So
Let's see
episode
what
3.
episode 3. I thought this one was pretty badass too, man. Man, I'll probably be saying that about every episode.
Right?
Uh, yeah, it's called A Cold Death.
Yes.
Uh, Dude, seeing the herd of the woolly mammoths, walking through through the blizzard,
Yeah,
and then they leave the old one behind, right? Because it's old, it's beat
yeah.
up.
It gets lost from the herd. Yeah,
Yeah, because the rest of her took off without him. They didn't wait for him.
yeah,
Um, and next thing you know, he's just left behind. He gets lost. When out of nowhere, here comes Spear and Fang out of
dude.
nowhere, looking to hunt.
Yeah,
Right. So they start fighting this woolly mammoth, and he puts up a good fight.
yeah,
But in the end, that he's so old and beat up, he was defeated.
yeah.
Right. And the cool thing that I liked about Spear, he has mad respect for his kills.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Every time he kills an animal, he'll sit there and he'll like wait for it to just die,
Yeah,
you know, and by looking at its eyes just to make sure that, it has a good death, right? And
yeah,
it's not going to be a sacrifice that was in vain. It was for a good reason, for survival, and he has mad respect for the animal. And so sure enough, the mammoth dies. And
yeah,
that's when they start tearing him apart, right? Start taking off his fur to
yeah,
make,
yeah,
to make the pelts to make the warm
yeah.
clothing.
Because that's what's cool about the show is that again, it's brutal and honest. Like at first, you kind of feel a little bad. You're like, well, that's kind of fucked up. They killed it. But then you're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, this is a world of survival. They're gonna freeze to death. They need to eat every day. It's eat or die. Like live is like
Yeah.
survive, like every day. So it's kind of like, well, we gotta do what you. But yeah, the little touches like that of. Does he have the flashback with his son there too, or was
Uh,
that later?
oh, what was the flashback on that one? Let me check. As a matter of fact, he did.
Okay,
Once they got the meat, because oh, dude, which was funny after they take out the mammoth, and all of a sudden, like, Fang pushes him out of the way because he wants to feed, right?
yeah,
So they start biting at the meat and start eating, and then they end up taking more meat and loading it up onto a sled, right? And
yeah,
then he takes that one last horn or the last tusk off the mammoth to make like a
like a
you know,
sled.
like a sled, right?
Yeah,
He's asking Fang to pull it, and
yeah.
Fang just walks away like, "No, you pull it." Right? Next, he's the one lugging it through the snow and the blizzard, right?
Yeah,
So and then he got scared because he fell behind, couldn't find him, and then he comes out, and
yeah,
then they found a cave, right? And the cool thing was Rex was pretty nice about it too, because remember he was going to try to keep him warm by corralling his body with his body,
yeah.
and then that's when Spear saw the cave, and then they go there and they go to rest, and that's when he has the flashback, right?
Okay,
He's sitting there and he's remembering how he's teaching his son how to hunt.
yeah,
And the same thing, he showed him that when they killed the one animal, how they would just put their hand on it and
yeah.
just feel the life leaving from the animal while staring at his eye, to show that they have respect for his death,
Right,
right? And so
right.
then all that happens when all of a sudden the entire cave starts to shake and crumble,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
When all of it's the big herd came back
They're
and started,
huge.
yeah, huge woolly mammoths just destroying this cave,
Yeah,
in which they both run out, and next thing you know, they start fighting with all these mammoths, which is like it's a really intense fight, man. It's a
dude.
lot of
They were getting fucked up.
big time, man. Oh, dude, when they sandwiched Fang,
Yeah,
remember he captured him and then he ran to the other one, and then boom, they just sandwiched him, and
yeah,
he's like losing consciousness because he's just suffocating.
yeah,
And that's when when Spear came out with the tusk, and they
Yeah.
started swinging it all like insanely, ready to stab fools with it.
Yeah.
And that's when the mammoth saw it and pretty much walked up to him, and pretty much all he wanted was that back, right? And out of
Yeah.
respect, he offered it back,
Right.
right? They stopped the fight. He gave him back his tusk, and then they took off,
Yeah.
right? And all they wanted to do was bury their old relative
Yeah.
in the elephant graveyard,
Yeah.
so it could be at peace.
Yeah. And they even show the elephants kind of rocking back and forth. I mean, the mammoths, woolly mammoths, like mourning the
Yeah,
loss.
they
Uh,
started doing a
uh,
little dance, a little shimmy
yeah.
shimmy.
And just but yeah, like you said, the concept, the whole elephant graveyard thing, I did not see coming.
No,
It
that
was
was
very, very emotional. Again, from a show, the episodes are only 22 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes.
a lot of detail, man. A lot of such good detail that was put into
Yeah,
it. I
subtle
wonder how
thing.
long it took for them to do this.
Yeah, yeah,
And like I said, just and then it gets even more intense coming up to the next two episodes.
dude.
All right,
That's
because
next.
episode 4, I got look at this shit, dude. This is all my notes on episode 4, dude.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm ready. This one, I was like, okay, this is the. At this point, I was like, okay, this is the most badass. The whole show is badass. Episode 4, I was like, this is the most badass episode in the show so far. And then episode 5 happens, but yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get to that one though, because we don't want to ruin it.
No.
I seriously need to get one of your microphone, like a microphone like you guys have, so my voice sounds cool when I'm talking. Like I know I
Well,
sound like
they're not expensive.
I know. I just gotta find one that works on my damn Chromebook.
You just get what? You don't have a USB port? That's all you need.
No, it's strictly USB C.
Oh,
I know they have adapters for it, but that's neither here nor there. I'll find one though. I've been doing my research, and I think I found one or two that are capable.
right.
So we
Copy
should
that.
be good. Moving on, episode 4, Terror Under the Blood Moon.
Yes. Say that in caveman voice.
Terror Under the Blood Moon.
Oh. Now it's official.
Yes. So let's start it off with the action, right? You got Spear and Fang being chased by velociraptors.
Dude, this is nuts.
Okay, this is like a huge gang of just velociraptors.
Ridiculous.
It's funny how they make the velociraptors' faces look all devious and mean,
Yeah.
and they're just regular dinosaurs that want to feed. They just make them look so evil.
I mean, look at this shot right here. Doesn't then their faces look like, well, what do we have here?
Looks like you're in the wrong neighborhood, buddy.
Or we don't take kindly to your two kinds around here. But yeah, this was nuts. All of the action in here was ridiculously awesome.
It was insane, dude. I mean, just straight being chased down. The whole time they're being chased, they're hacking and slashing at him with the spear. You got Fang biting at him. Whether he's crushing their faces or just biting off their tails and just destroying left and right.
Yeah.
But it's just so many of them that get overwhelmed, right?
Yeah.
So that's when they decide to run into the tall grass, which in Jurassic Park, they strictly said, do not run into the tall grass. Right?
Yeah.
The biggest mistake ever. So they're being chased when finally they end up on the other side of the tall grass, and all the raptors get scared. They literally stop.
Which is not good. That's not a good.
It's not good. So they stop, and next thing you know, they just take off. Right? They just take off running. And as they run off, all of a sudden the moon rises. Right? It goes dark. The moon rises, and it's a blood moon. Right? It's a red moon that comes up.
Blood moon.
And they're like, okay, it's a blood moon. They don't know what a blood moon is, but they just look at it like, okay, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So what do? They keep walking towards it. They keep walking in the direction of the blood moon. When all of a sudden, as they're walking through these fields, there's like these rocks positioned throughout the ground, and in the rocks, there's like little crevices, and you see eyes just staring at them, right? And the whole time they're looking back, and I'm like, hey, what? And they close their eyes, you can't see them anymore. As they're doing that, let me see here. They're walking through there, and all of a sudden, you see one. I guess you would call it a monkey caveman in a sense,
Yeah,
right? Because they
yeah,
weren't fully evolved yet, right?
right.
So
Oh,
they're kind of in between ape. Oh,
we got
sorry, go ahead.
another. Michael, thanks again for the donation, brother. Thanks for letting me know about the Kong Shout Factory release. Just pre-ordered it. Oh shit, there you
Oh,
go.
damn.
Also, Samurai, I just watched your Mortal Kombat / Tekken review. Real nice. Glad my favorite fighting game, Soul Calibur, hasn't been ruined yet. Give Hollywood time. Give it time. Yeah. But if we were going to do a Soul Calibur live action movie, Mr. Director Ranjit Marwah would be the guy to hire to do it right.
Yeah, Director
Hold on, Ranjit.
Ranjit.
You like that segue? Yeah. I got you back. What's going on, man? Thanks for hopping in. We're talking about one of the most badass, visually storytelling greatness, no dialogue animated series we have seen in years. But yeah, it is spoiler based, but it's all good. Thanks for stopping by.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, back to the badassity, Sumo. Go ahead.
Let me whip my whistle. Ooh. Let's see. Where are we at here? Bum.
Well, you get the showing the different type of caveman. There's different
Yes.
versions.
So you got a semi-evolved caveman, right? Still part ape,
Right.
part man,
Yeah.
but still kind of dumb
Yeah.
and afraid of something, right? So he's running. He's dragging. What was he dragging? Like another animal, right? That he hunted.
Yeah. It's trying to bring it back to so they can eat.
Yeah. So you got the big rock where all the other monkey men come out, and they're kind of like yelling at him to hurry up, and he's trying to hurry. When he was so weak that he kind of fell over and broke his leg.
Yeah.
So his leg's literally in an L shape, which is insane. He can't go anywhere, and all of a sudden, one of the monkey men tried to come help him. When all of a sudden, this ginormous freaking thing just swooped up and took him away. Right,
Yeah.
which just happens to be a ginormous red bat.
Yes.
Right, and these bats are
hold on
huge.
1 second. Hold on. Ranjit says I spoke with Gindi a few years back about doing a live action Samurai Jack. Never happened though.
Oh, snap.
Oh man, that would have been awesome. That would have been cool.
Damn. I think
But yeah,
Steven Seagal would have been Samurai Jack.
these motherfuckers show up.
Yes, those things are huge, man. They're insane, and it's funny because they're built like actual men with wings. It's insane. So that's what they're afraid of, right? So the huge bats. Next thing you know, he's helpless. He can't do nothing. He's about to get taken out, and Spear has a big heart, so he decides to go and help him, right? And
Yeah.
Spear's such a badass. He just runs out there.
Yeah.
He literally just picked up the carcass and the caveman and took off running with them, and then dropped them off in the cave, right? And then all of a sudden, you see the bats just coming in trying to fight. And then next thing you know, he's fighting with the bat. And then all of a sudden, that's when Fang steps in.
Yeah.
And they're being attacked and fighting left and right. And they're killing them. And Fang's killing the other ones. I can't explain in detail exactly how many they killed, but it was a lot of them. Right? There was so many of them.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden, on one of the maneuvers, what's his face? Which they teamed up together and they did the tag teams again, right? Because he was jumping off his back and he was jumping up in the air and spearing him. And they ended up breaking his spear, right? His spear was broken. And so then that's when he got captured from the feet and Spear was carried away, right? And Fang, all he could do was just chase after him, right?
Yeah.
So he chases him. Finally, he catches up to this ginormous pillar of a mountain.
Yeah.
And on the top of the pillar is a cave, and he can see the bats flying in and out. So it was funny because there was a whole segment where Fang was trying to climb up it, right? He's got the little arms, right? And he's trying to climb up, and he tried like 10 times, and he kept sliding down every time, right? Which was hilarious.
Yeah.
When finally he gets a thought in his brain, and he goes, you know what? Let's do this. And he plays dead.
Yeah.
Right? He played dead.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the bats see him, and they come down. And then they decide to swoop him up and take him into the cave, which is like a really smart idea on Fang's part.
Yeah.
Right? So now he's inside the cave. He's looking around because they leave him alone. And he's walking around the cave. He's noticing a bunch of dead dinos everywhere, carcasses left and right.
Yeah.
And then he hears a loud what? It was like a loud roar, and he doesn't even know what it is, right? Thinking it might be another bat, but no, it sounds
Right.
way more intense.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he sees webs, which I don't even think he knew what a web was,
No.
right? And he's like looking at it, like, what is this? And he starts seeing like these patches on the wall. He starts digging at them, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like you see like a dead, drying corpse inside of it. And he's like, whoa! And all of a sudden, this ginormous freaking spider comes out of nowhere, right? And
Right.
it turns out that these bats were working for the spider, and they were pretty much bringing them food to harvest so that they can feed in the cave,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Fucking
so they,
Shelob.
yeah, like Sheila, right?
A more gigantic Shelob, basically.
Oh, this thing was huge, man.
Yeah.
Um, let me see. Yeah. So next thing you know, Fang starts fighting this big old spider,
Getting
and just
fucked
like kind
up.
of duking it out, right? And just getting his ass kicked, right? He's getting picked up from the head, from the
Right.
neck, being thrown against the walls.
Hmm.
When finally he gets thrown to one wall and he sniffs the patch on the wall, and it smells like spear,
Right.
right? And he manages to cut it open just enough, and Spear wakes up and he sees that he's fighting this big spider, and he has to shimmy out of the web, and then finally he gets free and he joins them in the fight, right? And they're both getting their asses kicked still, and they're still kind of fighting back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And dude, I like Spears. Like his most favorite move is to go after the leg and start breaking legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how many legs he broke with the boulder. He's just literally
Yeah.
breaking legs, but it backfired with the spider because somehow the spider's like double jointed, right? Because
Yeah.
he went to go break it and it went crack and then it went broke and went right back to its normal state, right? And he didn't see that coming. So that's when he chases. He goes after the Triceratops bones,
Hmm.
and he takes off the huge horn off of it,
Yeah.
and that's when he comes at it, and then he freaking stabs it right through the head of the spider and destroys it.
Yeah.
So then they're gonna have to figure out a way to get down, right? So what does Spear do? He opens up the spider's mouth.
This was awesome.
He digs in, and next thing you know, he starts pulling the web out of the slot where it comes out of,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
just keeps on going, wraps it around Fang, and next thing you know, they're both sliding down the whole mountain.
They're both rappelling down with the spider's web.
Oh yeah, dude. And then
It was fucking great.
what was funny is that they were going down pretty fast,
Yeah.
and then they didn't know that if the web ever ended or stopped because it just kept on going,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
finally, when they get pretty close to the ground, it does kind of give way. It stops, and it kind of loosens them up, and they fall.
Right.
So now they hit the ground. Um, what else? They climb down, and then all of a sudden, they start being chased by the bats. Right, the bats come home.
More action, more
Yeah,
violent.
huge
Yeah.
bats come back home. They see that the spider's dead.
Yeah.
I thought the spiders were going to be relieved.
Oh, okay.
I thought the bats were going to be relieved that the spider was dead because they were pretty much the spider's slaves, right? Because they were bringing it food.
Right. Right. Right.
So at first, when they were chasing them, I thought, okay, they start chasing Spear and Fang. I thought they were going to try to stop and kind of say like a thank you or something.
Right.
But instead, they were seriously mad that they killed the spider, so they started attacking again,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they go all the way back. Let me see. Yeah, they're being chased all the way back, and then they go back to past the monkey people again, right? Which now they give him his spear back, right? And that was a pretty badass scene because he's standing there with the spear,
Yeah. That was
holding
dope.
it, and then he comes with Fang and he takes it.
Yeah.
And as they're being chased, what do? They go right back to the tall grass. And who's waiting for them in the tall grass? All the raptors.
Yep.
The next thing you know, the raptors just eating bats after bat left and right, man.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends.
It's like a big old bat versus raptor war. But still, it's not like they're safe. They're still killing bats and raptors on their way out.
Yeah, trying to get out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ridiculously badass episode. The most badass episode out of all the badass episodes until episode 5.
oh, here's the episode that see, this is the thing though. We saw episode 5 because that's all we had available.
So yeah. So there could be
So-
more badassity.
Yeah, who knows how much more intense going to get after this one.
Yeah.
Oh man, am I sounding clear on this? Am I skipping over anything?
No, you're good.
I just want to make sure everybody's not like. I'm making sure it makes sense. by explaining this because it's a lot of explanation.
No, you're good.
Okay, good. Let's see here. Feel free to chime in anytime you want, President. Let me catch
Yeah.
my breath.
No, you're killing it explaining everything. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's see.
What's the title of the 5th episode?
Episode 5. You ready? Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rage of the Ape Men.
Ooh! Yeah, love it.
All right, let's see here. Rage of the Ape Men. I should have done it in an English accent. Episode 5. Rage of the Ape Men.
It was very brutal. Yes.
It starts off on a summery night.
Oh God, check this out. Look at it, Mr. Triangle World. It gets more intense, bro. What?
Yeah.
All right. That's good to know. All right, but this is where we're at. We have to suffer, chat. This is as far as we got on HBO Max. Come on, HBO Max, release the rest of them. Jesus.
Well, you know me. I have my ways of watching.
Yes. Yes.
He goes, maybe I'll go on was that Facebook Messenger and just stream it to you while I'm watching it.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right, here you go. Let's see. It starts off with this was pretty cool too. It starts off with them once again walking together side by side, like chums.
Oh yeah, this whole beginning.
Right, and then they go and they find this beautiful oasis of a spot. Right, I mean everything that surrounds them is pretty much jungle and chaos, but they found one of the most peaceful places they could ever think of, for their time. Right, so they're sitting there and they're just watching the waterfalls. The water in the ocean was really blue and clean, but then again, all the water was clean back there, right? Because there was no pollution.
Right.
And the fact that Spear would go up to the water, or the lagoon, I guess you could say, and the fish swimming in there were not afraid.
Yeah.
Of man because they've never encountered that.
Right.
Right, because nobody's ever touched that part of the land.
Yeah. Yeah, Spear didn't even have to literally hunt anything. All he had to do was just reach.
he just put his hand in the water, and like they were just kind of like look at his hand and swim by it, and he just grabbed the fish.
Yeah.
And he just eat it. Right? So then he catches a bunch of them, brings them out, and then what's his face? Fang comes over, eats, and they just kick him back. One of the funniest scenes that I thought was
the worm.
The stand started shifting, and a worm comes out. And what does Fang do? He gets a flashback of the snakes, and he freaks out. He takes off running like a little puppy dog, man. Just freaked out.
Yeah, Fang has PTSD.
Yeah.
And then Spear's like, oh, he like picks up the worm, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, Fang's just going, just going around in circles like he don't want to go over there. Oh man, and he even ate it, right? I think Spear ate the worm.
Yeah, and he's like,
oh man, that's so good. So then, what happens? So after that, he's the butterflies. I like the butterfly, right? That was on his snout. Because he's never seen a butterfly, right? And then he goes to that big old part of the rock, and he kind of blows at it, and all the butterflies come out flying.
Yeah.
So they find like the most peaceful place, right? So Spear goes for a swim. Fang decides to sleep on the rock. So as he's sleeping, Spear decides to be funny and play a joke on him and try to sneak up on him.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden he sees shadowy figures move, right? Mm-hmm. So he's like, what? So he decides to climb up stealth mode when all of a sudden Fang is completely gone. He doesn't see him anymore. But he sees the trail of where he was dragged. So he decides to follow it.
Yeah.
When out of nowhere, he gets knocked out. Boom. Right? So now he's knocked out.
It was too good to be true.
Yeah. So then next thing you know, he sees himself being dragged. He wakes up and he starts looking, and then he gets knocked out a second time, right? But the next time he wakes up, it's him and Fang, hanging by vines that were tied around them on the cliffside, right on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big ceremony going on with apes, actual apes,
Yeah.
right? But these are like almost apes that are barely starting that human transition, right? Just
Yeah.
really primitive, but you can
Right.
tell by their shape that they're they're still apes.
And the
And
way
then
they're communicating with each other.
yes, because you got like the main priest ape,
Yeah.
right?
So they're evolved a little bit.
Yeah, you got Dr. Zaius with the staff, right? He's just standing there with the staff and his cheetah cloak, and he's up there just kind of stomping down with the sticks. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, these gorillas, was it like four gorillas come out, right? Or was it five? I think it was like 4 or 5 gorillas come
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and they go around this circle, and that's when the head priest gives the stomp, and next thing you know, the gorillas start fighting,
Yeah.
right? And it's like a competition between these gorillas to the death, and the winner gets to pick the prize, right?
Right.
So the whole time they're sitting there fighting. You got this
Brutal.
one badass gorilla just tearing. I mean, they're all tearing each other apart,
Yeah.
but you got this main one that's just like destroying everybody, right? And he's literally just ground and pound,
Yeah.
bloody fist.
Yeah.
And even when he encountered the big one,
He fucked them up.
oh dude, he was having a little trouble at first, but he came back
Right.
and he got him, right?
Yeah.
So after that happened, here we go. He won. So the way the ritual goes, the winner goes to pick the prize.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you see Fang being lowered, right? While
Right.
the gorilla goes to the mountain, and there's a trail, right, on the mountain. And then the head priest guy has a bowl of this, like a brownish, blackish sludge, right? And I got a feeling it was primitive steroids,
It was.
right? It had to have been primitive steroids. It might have been the potion from Wakanda, right? Because because it just, as soon as he poured that one droplet, the whole droplet
Yeah.
came down. The
Yeah.
gorilla drank it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, his whole body starts to transform. It gets bigger, stronger, and he goes into like a rage mode.
Yeah.
They release Fang, and
Berserker's
then
barrage. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. And then Fang, like, okay, he's gonna take him on. Next thing you know, looking at him, the gorilla is like 3 times as big as Fang.
Yeah.
And they're duking it out, and the whole time, Spear can't do nothing because he's tied up,
Right.
right? So he's upset that he can't help his friend. So lo and behold, the giant gorilla took a triceratops skull, wore it as a mask, which is pretty badass. That shot right there, man. He looked tough
Yeah.
at that one. So after grabbing Rex like that and hitting him against the actual stone walls and just beating him up really bad,
Yeah.
he
Fang
even
got fucked
shattered
up.
his leg. Huh?
Fang got fucked up bad.
Yeah, he even broke his leg. Like he literally shattered his leg. So now he couldn't walk. And then he left him on the floor, right? And then Spear the whole time goes into a rage mode. He starts biting at his vines, tears the vines, and he managed to get himself free. So what does he do? He goes straight for the head priest tower,
Yeah.
right? Because he knew he wasn't going to be doing it on his own. And he goes up to the top, and next thing you know, he drinks the entire bowl of the steroids. Holy crap. He chugged the whole thing.
After throwing Dr. Zaius to his death first.
Oh, yeah. He tossed Dr. Zayas like nobody's business, man.
Yeah.
So all the other apes are looking at him like, did he just drink all that? Like, yep. And he just downed the whole thing. Next thing you know, he goes into a whole rage mode. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Michael? Oh, thanks again for the dono. So, talking about animated series, check out Godzilla the series. It's a 40-episode sequel to the '98 movie, and it's great. A lot of people said that was a good show. Did you ever see that show?
Never got it. I've only seen commercials. After I kind of stopped watching animated shows for a little while because it kind of went downhill for a little bit.
It did.
So I didn't really give too many a chance.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I always thought it sucked because I wasn't like the biggest fan of the movie at the time.
Right.
But Michael's not the only one that has spoken pretty well about it. So it was a good show.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check. Where is that? We can watch that at.
That I'm not sure. Maybe Michael knows where. Let's see here. Let's see. Does he say? Oh, here we go. We got Jake Hall says it's worth it. So we got other fans Interesting.
Well, I have to look him up then.
But back to the carnage.
Back to the carnage.
Carnage.
What do we do? So he drank the whole bowl. He starts transforming.
He becomes Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, the Incredible Hulk, big time, like a Frankenstein Hulk, right? Because his skull was all misshapen. You know, it was all huge. All he needed were the bolts. He needed Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like ginormous, right? But he goes into super rage mode.
Yeah.
And he starts punching these poor apes in half with a single blow, man. Just destroying them. Blah,
He
blah,
fucks
blah.
up the big ape first.
Did he mess up the first one? The big one first?
Yeah, because after that, that's when the other apes swarmed him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. He fought him like crazy, right? And he was destroying him. But the finishing move was beautiful. Please tell me you got a screenshot of that finishing move.
I don't. Sorry.
Ah.
Yeah. But tell chat.
Hey, I'll explain. He takes the gorilla's arms and he starts pulling him, and then he just pulls them right off.
Yes.
And then he starts beating them like Jackson Mortal Kombat with their own arms. Bah,
yeah.
bah, bah, just beating them. Right? No, correction. Not Mortal Kombat. It was Gears of War. Whenever they tear off the arm and start beating them.
Yeah.
He just
or fans of Deadly Prey. If you ever seen that B movie, that happens.
Oh, I've never seen that.
He cuts the guy's arm off and then he beats him with it.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he beats the main gorilla down. He's dead. And all the other apes attack, and he's just destroying all of them.
Dude.
And there's bodies everywhere.
Insane. It was insane that he was fucking them up so bad. Wasn't his slaps like just going through him too? Like, it's like
his backhand, his fist, like literally one swipe, and the ape just falls apart in half. Like paper.
And then they end up running away. They're like, "Fuck this!"
Yeah,
and then he goes after them anyway, and just Hulk smashes. So look, huge jump. Screenshot, chat. Look at the screenshot. This is a small little taste. Look at this. Boom! Look at this right here. This is fucking nuts. This is insane. Yeah, this is a taste. This is not even an inkling of how badass and crazy the carnage and gore is for the. It's just ridiculous.
That aerial shot was beautiful when the apes were all running away.
Yeah,
and then he decides to jump up in the air, and you see him from the top just coming down, strikes the ground, and all the apes just go flying in slow motion. Yeah. Dude, that was just too much, man.
And the shot I was trying to find, but I couldn't find it, was the aftermath shot. I wanted to share it with chat tonight, but I couldn't find the shot of it. But it's just nothing but ape bodies and jibs everywhere. Yeah. And then through the mountain of jibs and ape jibs and shit. And Spear, goes back to human form. He goes back to Bill Bixby.
Yep. His droids wear off, man. All his droids wear off.
Yeah, he goes back to Bruce Banner form, kind of. And he comes back out through the mountain of jibs. And he's just standing there ripped with his arms out. One of the most badass scenes. Probably the most badass shot in the whole show.
Yeah,
so
it was nice.
5, covered in blood. I was just like,
yeah.
Thank you. It's the itch is gone. The itch the action itch has been scratched. Yeah. It's fucking great.
It was great, man. Pretty much that sums it up, because after that he just walks over to Fang, and he sees him laying there on the ground, and that's where it ends.
Now, at the time, did you think Fang was dead? Now that we know more episodes, now we know Fang's probably alive. But
I mean, the fact that he was pretty smashed up, broken leg. I mean, is he going to recover from that broken leg? Because I mean, I don't think they had the ability to make splints back then and fix the broken leg, right?
Right.
So I thought he was done for, but who knows? I mean,
it was actually kind of emotional with Spear trying to rock him and push him awake and push Fang awake, and Fang just didn't move, and that's how it ended.
He was out, man, and then that's what ended the show, and I'm like, that's it?
And now we're suffering because there's 5 more fucking episodes. Come on, HBO Max. Well, again, We'll talk later after the stream.
Yes.
All that.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
Thanks again, Michael. Hulk 2003 would be great for Is It Really That Bad episode. Okay, now I stopped cutting you off. Okay. All right.
Would that be the Ang Lee one?
We'll think about that. We'll think about that one. That's a maybe. But
You
yeah.
talk about the Ang Lee one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think, I don't know, a lot of people might agree that one's bad.
You know what? For being the first actual Hulk movie,
I really liked
it.
I really liked it when I saw it in theater.
Yeah.
But does it hold up now though?
Oh no! I mean, we're
I'd
far
have to
more advanced now.
rewatch it. I would have to rewatch it to
It
see.
had good moments, man.
Well, yeah. Hulk versus the Hulk dogs.
Yeah.
No, the Hulk versus the military tanks and shit. That was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
That
The
was
dogs are pretty insane, but
yeah. But anyway, back to Primal.
Primal.
Up to this point, this is a 5-star show for me. 5 out of 5 for me. Up to, if we're gonna bootleg rate it now, even though its season's not done, but up to so far, these first 5 episodes are excellent. Soundtrack's amazing. Tyler Bates, and I forgot who else did it with him, but Tyler Bates, who's a very talented composer, did an awesome badass soundtrack. Animation's great. Got emotional moments, no dialogue, convincing, and badassity abounds with
pure badassity, man. It's just
fucking Primal. Yeah.
I was sitting there on my Chromebook just watching it at the kitchen table, man. I'm like, man, this is something else, man. I was like, I couldn't get my eyes off until I had to write notes, but other than that, I was watching it nonstop, man.
Yeah. As of right now, first 5 episodes gets the thumbs up. Definitely, it definitely does. And was there anything else you want to talk about it? Because I know you got to go. You got to get ready for work tonight. So, thanks for coming in and saying hi and
anytime, man.
And talking about badassity things, which is what we do on this fucking channel. That's right. There's no getting with Sexy Sumo to talk about Frozen. Okay.
Yeah, no.
All right. No, not on this channel.
Frozen is bullshit.
There's no getting together talking about Tom and Jerry. No, we're not doing it
yet. It's free. I might just watch it. I don't know.
And you got kids, so you have an excuse. Yeah. But we're not going to talk about it here.
Well, it doesn't matter. My kids are old enough, so they can care less about it. We just watched the Little Things last night.
Yeah, how was it?
It was okay.
It was mad. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's no 7. Yeah. But the acting was good. The storyline was decent.
Yeah.
It was.
It's hard to be 7 though. Period.
No, it's very hard. To be 7, but like I said,
the box?
It's just it was. Look, man, if you can handle a slow burn like Bone Tomahawk, you can handle the slow burn on the Little Things.
But is the Little Things have a badass finale like Bone Tomahawk?
No. Never.
What's going on, Samuel? It's cracking. Thanks for popping in. We're getting ready to end it, believe it or not. I just wanted to short and sweet today, guys, because Sumo's got to get ready for Wake.
Yeah.
But we wanted to take a minute or an hour and get together to talk about Primal, to represent the badassity. We highly recommend you guys check out the show if you have not checked it out already. And hopefully HBO Max will not continue to torture us and just leave us with just 5 episodes. Hopefully,
they're probably going to watch this and say, fuck those guys.
But most likely, I know, right? Most likely, the rest of the episodes, when they come out, me and Sumo will get together for another quick discussion about Primal, because it's fucking badass. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, liking the video. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to check out Phat Samurai Guy merch, t-shirts, mugs, all that cool stuff. When you get the merch, send me photos, Instagram page or the Phat Samurai Guy page. I want to do a whole video showing you guys. That'd be great. Nice. But don't forget tomorrow. Until next time, don't forget tomorrow, me and Darth Daddy Lunga are going to be talking about Is It Really That Bad? Crawl 1983. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time and we'll go from there. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Peace out.
Peace out.
Primal.